This holiday season, Peloton's got a gift for you. Right now, get up to $200 off accessories with the purchase of a Peloton Shred. Accessories like non-slip grip resistance bands, a heart rate monitor, yoga blocks, and more. Take your workout to the next level with Peloton. Motivation that moves you. Hurry, this limited time offer ends December 25th. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. All access membership separate. Offer ends December 25th. Cannot be combined with other offers. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
Your plans? Today it's dinner with the parents at your spot.
We gotta come back here.
Now, their spot. Or you're on the edge of your seat at the game.
Come on, just one time.
And it's the one. Or maybe you're catching the next flight to...
Now boarding flight 1850.
Oh, that's you. The choice is yours. And when you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.
Hello. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show Podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the work week. Just got a note from Jacqueline, no longer my last name. My daughter. That's weird. She's back from her honeymoon with my son-in-law. Mrs. Ziegel, as it is. Cannot believe that. She's like, I want to do the great food giveaway with you. I want to help. I go, well, of course. Of course. One of my favorite people in the whole wide world is here right now. And we have arms open, canopy of love for sweet, sweet Sarah. My darling, I'm so sorry. Her father passed, and she's really hurting right now, her and her family. Oh, my gosh. My darling, I am just so without, I'm just so deeply, deeply sorry for you. I saw the pictures of your dad. Oh, does he look awesome. What a sweet-looking soul. Oh, my God, Sarah. There was one when he was making, like, little toys, like, out of wood for kids or something like that. Oh, God, and he just looked like the sweetest dude ever. Sorry, I don't mean to make your makeup run, but that's on my mind. You are on my mind. Your family's on my mind. So I cannot express enough from my family to yours how sorry I am to hear about that. That is, I know that Dad was struggling for a lot of time, and you put everything on hold to help take care of him, and it was touch and go for a long period of time, and you were very, very worried, and I'm so sorry that on the passing of your father. Raise a glass to Mr. I don't know your father's name. What is the man's name? Dan. Rest in peace, Dan Rook Rouge. Because isn't that right? That is, your last name is his last name, right? Because Brad, your dear husband Brad, who I also love, Brad said, well, we're married, so now you got my last name. And you said, no way. And he goes, oh, come on. And incredible. Your family just cracks me up. I will never forget that. Driving across the great state of Tennessee with you. Every 3 miles, Brad has to pee. As we were getting set to leave and go back to where we were vacationing, because Sarah and Brad and Avery were vacationing in Gatlinburg the same time I was. We picked them up and drove across the state to whatever community it was for that lunch dinner. On the way back, Brad grabs a 6-pack. And she's like, no, no, you will not do that. And then Brad's like, come on. And she wasn't so much, annoyed at the fact that he's doing road drinking in the back of my car. I didn't care about that. Whatever. I drive slow in the right lane. Nobody's going to pull us over. Yeah, sixer for the road. I'm like, what is she yelling at him about? It's because his bladder is the size of an infant. There was one moment when we pulled over to get gas. And this is on the way there. You two, out of the car. Why? Because I know you two. You're going to stop. They're like kids, apparently. Avery and Brad. The second you leave the gas station, we got to go to the bathroom. It's like that. So Sarah's like, get out. Get out. Ma, get in there and piss. She screams at him. It was fantastic. All right, Sarah, I'm thinking about you guys. This too shall pass. You will always have that wonderful memory of your sweet dad, your sweet daddy, as you like to call him, which I cannot condone that. Dan. Rest in peace, Dan. All right. This show, as you know, happens in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. I sounded drunk there. Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Each and every day of the week, I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Getting a little mushy early on in the show is okay, as people are slowly but surely creeping in and may have missed the start of the show and might now be wondering. So I'll say this just one more time. Sarah's father passed away. Sweet Sarah's father just passed away. She is here with us. Since we're talking about things like mortality and a life well lived and various Jesus, God things, I want you to know that what I'm about to play for you, I believe a lot of what this guy is saying. Now, some of you are going to know where I'm going when I start to play this. I'm encouraging you to bite your tongues, because there's going to be quite a turn of events in this story. This is former NFL quarterback John Kitna. John Kitna, when he played, it was all right. He had some good years with the Cincinnati Bengals. Or Bengals. Bengals, not Bengals, Eric. And then he made his way over to the Detroit Lions. There's some, it's always a lean year for the Lions, it seems. So he played on some bad teams, but the guy, he would flat out, give it up. What he lacked in talent, he made up for in attitude and effort. And he's one of these guys who, remember I was describing to you how Kyle Ryan, he strikes me as the type of guy who he doesn't believe in God, but one day he's going to get hit by a bolt of lightning, and then he's going to be super ultra born again to a point where, if he farts, he's going to praise Jesus and start to cry. These annoying born agains, unlike, cradle Catholic like me, who's better than everybody, the born agains are annoying as piss, because they barely do anything, and they drop down to their knees weeping and praising Jesus. And Jesus is like, get up. You've tied your fucking shoes. It's not a big deal. You know? If a baby rises from the dead, all right, yeah. I mean, give me some love. I get it, but just because you made a successful left-hand turn doesn't mean, I'm busy. Well, that's John Kitna. This is John from about 3. He's long since been retired. He always looked like he's getting ready to kick your ass, but he's extremely sweet and nice, John Kitna. Audio check, video check. This is John Kitna. What he does now with his life is just has religious conversations with people. It's very, very sweet.
He's in complete control. Even when it looks like the world may be winning or the enemy is winning, he's in complete control. And he's doing things all the time. He's always at work. And I need to look for him at work and look to join him at work. And one of the things Dave Brown taught me early on in my walk when he would disciple me at 6:30 in the morning, he taught me, you need to learn the phrase, yes, Lord, here am I, send me. You need to learn that response.
You see,
I love what...
It's like a football coach telling you to follow the word of God. And he's doing a good job. I think John Kitna is very good at this right now. By the way, John Kitna has done nothing wrong. So I'm not going to play this for you and then reveal that, he's done something terrible. That is not in his playbook. John Kitna is a sweet soul.
What Brian was just talking about being the cycle breaker. I think it's important for the men sitting in this room. Some of you come from brokenness. Some of you don't know it. You don't know your father maybe. And you're wondering, how does this happen? It's important that you understand there's a promise in the Bible that says you can be the cycle breaker.
Yep.
That says if you love God, he will bless you.
You hear that, Kyle Ryan? Maybe if you love God, you wouldn't be so gay.
To 1,000 generations. And what it is to love God is to obey him completely. And so I love your question, where do we go from here? I think some of us, and I have to do this very often, we need to fast from ourselves. I need to fast from me.
I like that guy going,
We live in especially, you talked about perpetuating adolescence. People ask me all the time, how was the NFL? Tremendous. A lot of incredible things, but the one thing that it did was it allowed me to stay a boy for a long time. Longer than I needed to be.
Never grew up? That's what he's saying.
And so I think it's
But I was making too much damn money.
Important that we put off ourselves. Galatians 2:20.
Yes.
Crucifying myself. We need to come into that, and then we need to make that part of our daily routine and a discipline of ours.
Okay. There you go, John Kitna. Chris writes, was this at the Jamestown Library meeting? Ben W., not so politely, says, friggin' Bible thumpers. Sean writes, that man had no offensive line. He probably paused God because he can still walk after taking all those hits. It's supposed to say praise God. Praise God because he can still walk after taking all those hits. White with the Lions. Sean, how about you read and edit before you post? My God. All right. Well, all right. That's all fantastic. Yesterday's headline. Because his son, Jalen, is one of the quarterbacks for Florida, the Florida Gators. Jalen Kitna jailed on child porno. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. So you're John Kitna. You're like, uh-oh. Shit. I've been telling you for years. How does this happen? Oh. Florida backup quarterback Jalen Kitna was arrested Wednesday on 2 counts of distribution of child exploitation material and 3 counts of possession of child porno. Kitna, the 19-year-old son of former NFL quarterback and God warrior John Kitna, was arrested by the Gainesville Police Department and booked into the county jail at 3:20 p.m. Eastern Time, expected to appear in court today to hear the charges. Wow. You know, in a span of that, everyone's life changes. Choices. John Kitna, the dad, just like that, he is like, what in the world is happening here? The 5 charges, which need to be formalized by the state's attorney's office, are second-degree felonies that could result in a prison term of up to 15 years and a fine of up to $10,000. So John Kitna, you know, we just played that clip, and it starts with, he is in control. If you're John Kitna, are you looking up going, hey, wait a minute there. I thought you were in control. I've been telling everybody you're in control, and I turn around and my kid's looking at child porno and distributing it to people. How the fuck is that in control? So then, you know, if you're Kitna, you gotta reconcile this in your brain. So Kitna's gonna go deep, so to speak, and say, oh my God, he's been ruined by the enemy, which, you know, a lot of people who are very religious, I mean, I believe that. I just had a conversation with my super sweet sister/stepsister. And because I'm very worried about the elderly people that we exposed at the Thanksgiving super spreader to COVID. And her and her fantastic husband, Jim, who is, we're all very close. I'm having a conversation with them, and they're like, the enemy wants us to worry, Eric. The enemy, that is fuel for the enemy. We will have no fear. And I'm like, you're right. Anxiety, stress, fear, that is fuel for the dark side. I believe that. I actually do believe that. So if you're John Kitna, you're like, okay, I can't blame God and Jesus for this one. There's no way in hell that's going to happen. The 5 charges, which need to be formalized by the state's attorney's office, are second-degree felonies that could result in a prison term of up to 15 years and a fine of up to $10,000. Okay, so if you're John Kitna, you go to jail or you get the kid out of jail and you sit down with them. Say, Jalen, all right, this conversation is just between you and me. Whatever you tell me, I'm not going to tell anybody. But are you into kids? Yes or no? Because I don't want to waste any time with too much talking. Just let me know now if you're into children. If you are, there is a place for you. You're going to have to pay the price. And this is going to be used as an example to people about why it's a good idea to seek help if you are attracted to children and you want to have sex with kids. And then you just let the legal process. You do the old Jesus take the wheel. If you're John Kitna, you say, hey, I've got to let this go. Kitna has been suspended indefinitely from the football program. Quote, "We are shocked and saddened to hear the news involving Jalen Kitna. These are extremely serious charges," the school says, and the University of Florida we have zero tolerance for such behavior. You see, the school wants to say, what they should say there is, okay, they were okay with these are extremely serious charges. But when they say that we have zero tolerance for such behavior, Jalen Kitna has not been convicted yet. He's just been charged, with child porno. So the school's saying we have zero tolerance for such behavior. They need to skip that language because that could, have an effect on them legally. They need to say, these are extremely serious charges, and until this is resolved, Jalen Kitna is off the football team, is suspended indefinitely until this is resolved. That's a smart play. But according to a news release from Gainesville Police, the cops got a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which they have their own force of people. A lot of them are volunteers, but basically that just scan the internet looking for people on various outlets to try to disseminate a kid porno. And that apparently they discovered that a user on Discord distributed an image of a child getting porked. Police say that after an investigation, they found out that Kitna was the probable owner of the Discord account. Again, social media giveth, social media taketh away. Social media has been a game changer for the predator. There are many satisfied predators that are happy with social media when it comes to facilitating their horrible habits. However, it also taketh away. And that is good. The good guys are going to win plenty of times against the bad guys. The Gainesville Police Department, they walked up to Jalen Kitna. They said, "Look, we know your dad's a God warrior, but we think you are not, and we think you're into kids." So police are talking to Jalen Kitna. And then Jalen said, "Well, wait a minute. I thought the images that I shared were legal." This is his excuse. "Hey, man, I thought they were legal because I found them online, What? Are you telling me there's no such thing as any illegal pictures online? Is that what you came up with? I mean, you would have better luck, I think, if you said, "Hey, someone grabbed my phone and hacked me." You can't go with, "I thought they were legal because I found them online." Are you suggesting that if anybody tries to put a picture of a little hairless twink online, that it won't show up? Cops said, "Well, all right, that's kind of bullshit. Can we take a look at your phone?" And this blockhead said, "Here you go," and gave him the phone. Either that or they had a warrant. I guess I don't know. Police say they searched Jalen Kitna's electronic devices, and they found more child porno. Oh. Well, that was a fun football career. A redshirt freshman, Kitna appeared in 4 games this season, completing 10 of 14 passes for 181 yards and a touchdown. So he was just getting started with his career and is now over. Holy shit. Incredible. Got that one sent to me by a number of people. Thank you so much for contributing. As always, when people contribute to the show. My God, it makes the show that much better. Thank you for sending me stories that you think I may find interesting. I don't find them all to be something that I can talk about, and sometimes I even forget them. But for the love of God, don't take it personal if I don't talk about your story. Sometimes I find an avenue for them. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just forget. As always, I'm very appreciative of you, however you consume the show, whether it's the recorded audio podcast that I post after this completes. And it's quite a simple process, really. I just kind of like take the audio with all these stupid things I say and just throw it up there for you on any platform that you download podcasts on. Most people do it on Apple Podcasts. Thank you. Please subscribe to the audio podcast, rate it, and review it. Much appreciated if you've done that. Much appreciated, please, if you would do that or if you have done that in the past. There's several people watching the show live as it happens, and I'm also flattered with that. For the few dozen of you that do that, thank you. I know it's embarrassingly small, but I'm working hard to try to increase that every single day. And I'm trying to get more and more people to follow the show on Twitch. Because right now, for the Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube audience, I'm going to toggle you off, which is not a sexual term. And but before I do that and send you on your way, you can get the whole show uninterrupted if you go to my Twitch platform, and that is so easy to do. As soon as when people say Twitch, you're like, well, wait a minute, what's that? I don't know. Yeah, it's so simple. This is so easy. You go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live if you're on a laptop or a desktop or whatever. Twitch.tv, and that's TWITCH.tv/Eric Zane Live, all one word. Follow the page, little follow button, give yourself a username. You can contribute on the chat and talk shit about me and be silly with everybody else. It's awesome. Or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live and do all of those things. If you follow, it'll let you know when I go live. If you subscribe, because during the show, commercials will fly in at random times, and they are annoying. You can skip all those commercials that run during the show by each month manually linking up your Amazon Prime account with Twitch Prime. Oh, how do I do that? Scroll and read. That's it. We have gotten to a point in the world where people are way too dependent, and they need it spoon-fed to them. All the answers are there. Just read. Scroll, read, take a little time, investigate. You will figure it out. If, however, you can't, okay, send me an email on the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. If you don't have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe by actually throwing $5 at it, $5.99 at it. But that's up to you. Otherwise, don't do any of that shit and just sit through the commercials, and it's free. Totally up to you. We have options for you. Many, many options. Nick, the electrician, says, I'm watching Twitch on my TV. Twitch has a smart TV app. Oh, my God. Thank you, Nick, for pointing that out. Goodbye to you folks on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Amy writes, it's not easy. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the easy something or other. I don't know what the hell you said. She writes, help me. I'm old and confused. I think you're doing better than you think. You're here. You're commenting. Corey indicates that Twitch has a PlayStation app as well. Oh, Amy doesn't understand how to do the emotes. Oh, come on now. I'm guessing you could search that question online. Ryan writes also on Apple TV. Okay. Facebook and Twitter brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT, and YouTube taken care of by Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance, helping you get covered with insurance through healthcare.gov. I have so much to get to today, and I'm like, as usual, there's no way I can get through all of it. So a lot of the things that I want to talk about on the show will then be talked about on the Patreon bonus podcast. But it's hard to believe. But we have yet another week where a horrible, horrible industrial workplace, either in a factory or in the field, has occurred and has resulted in something terrible. Now, this goes back several weeks. Guy who somehow wound up being pulled through wood chipper. And they often say he fell in a wood chipper. And that's incorrect. It's pulled into a wood chipper. Because if you fall into the wood chipper, that indicates that where the branches go is facing the sky. That is not true. It's not vertical. It's horizontal. And people stick like the branches in, and the next thing you know, they're gone. That happened weeks ago. We also had dude who did fall in to the industrial shredder that, with incredible power, destroys anything. If you've ever seen an industrial shredder. Who wasn't discovered, who they just thought he quit. They thought he went AWOL. And his dad worked there. They brought in cadaver dogs, and cadaver dogs still couldn't even fucking find anything. And then 3 days later, someone found a meat chunk, like near the machine. All of his remains went into a conveyor belt, into a pile of, and there was no blood or anything. So I don't know how this happened. It must have been like all sorts of recyclable materials made it through. And then the conveyor pushed his ground mincemeat body and all of the shit that they were recycling and made it into a cube, never to be seen again. I am not kidding. No hyperbole. No, nothing. That's how it happened. You had dude at the Caterpillar heavy equipment manufacturing plant in Illinois fell into the 10,000 gallon of molten iron vat like T2 and died. And then last week we had the chick in Brazil who was dragged into the potato chip machine, and her face and head were actually made into potato chips. Nick is suggesting I look up the Russian lathe accident. Dude gets centrifugally flung apart. Oh. I don't want to go and search these things out, Nick. The only way I can do this is if the stories like approach me. And that's happened again. Owensboro, Kentucky, where a lot of my wife's family lives. the home of Rex Chapman, for God's sake, and Johnny Depp. It's happened again. Oh, my God. Audio check, video check.
We start tonight with that developing situation in Owensboro. The Davis County Sheriff's Office saying tonight that one person is dead after an accident involving landscaping equipment. Officials say a local tree trimming contractor was doing some work in the Stonegate neighborhood when that accident happened. Deputies say a 46-year-old man was working when he got tangled and fell into a wood chipper.
See, you can't say that. Pulled into a wood chipper, idiot.
We're told it happened before 5 o'clock tonight. The coroner has not released the name of the victim. That neighborhood is a popular spot to view Christmas lights. The investigation is still ongoing tonight, but deputies tell us no foul play is suspected.
Oh, my God. Why does this keep happening? Pulled into a wood chipper. Fucking oopsie is right. My God. Joseph Manier is the guy. Probably has a family. Absolutely horrible. All those people that were probably walking around the neighborhood enjoying the Christmas lights. And then all of a sudden they hear something terrible. And then suddenly silence and the machine bogging down. And then the inside of that truck is a disaster. That's where the guy is. He is with all the wood chips inside of the truck. Maureen writes, the potato chip story was a good one. I don't think it was a good one. I don't know if I would use that word. Kari says pushing someone into a wood chipper seems like a great way to murder and get away with it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Someone's going to see you do that. Maybe perhaps if you do like a very quick Kurt Giles, Minnesota Vikings hip check. I'm sorry, Minnesota North Stars hip check. Terrible reference. One that I fucked up. Kyle says didn't work in Fargo. Spoiler alert. And then, the fact that there are people who then have to get into the back of that truck and they actually have to collect remains for the family. You must have to have some real ability to wall trauma off if your job is to collect shit like that. I've often wondered about people who have first responder jobs or have to do something like work in a coroner's office or if you're a physician. This is why physicians make so much money, because of the trauma that they see on a regular basis when, they're operating on a child who was badly injured and it doesn't work out. I've never understood how they can do that for a living. I wonder if when a person is in like a situation where they're like a trauma surgeon, if they have to pass some type of psychology test to prove that they are mentally fit, or if they're somehow made to how that type of desensitizing happens to a person, like Tyler here. Tyler works in a medical setting. He says, I'm currently looking at an amputated leg at work. Now, think about that. Pretty much everyone here is not ever in our lives going to see an amputated leg. He actually wrote, I'm currently looking at an amputated leg at work. LOL. He adds LOL. So right now, Tyler's looking at a bloody leg and then typing on his phone, hey guys, I'm looking at an amputated leg. LOL. What the fuck? You see? I don't know how that's even a thing. Mitch writes, it's not trauma to them. It's a new Maserati. Stevie says, I follow 2 coroners on TikTok. They don't go out to sites to collect remains. Some poor fucker has to do that. Oh, yeah, I believe that, too. Some guy who's making like $15 an hour has to put on the gloves and go get chunk and bring it back to the coroner. Ryan says, as much as I like you, Eric Zane, I'm not a big fan of medical staff watching you live and responding while working on me. Oh, yeah, exactly. I don't think Tyler's in like a care setting, though, right now. I think he just happens to be near where the leg is. Corey says on TikTok, some guy was showing us all the different parts of the brain on a dead guy. Well, I've actually done that. I had a anatomy and physiology class. I've talked about this many times. I was only like 17. No, I wasn't 17. I was like 18, 19 years old. And you go to the lab and there are brains and you pick them up. And there's cross sections of brains so you can identify all the structures inside of the brain. And that part I could handle. I knew what I was going into, but I don't know. Just the fact of the trauma of someone passing in front of you like a little kid. Tyler is in the pathology lab. Corey says Tyler's actually is at his home and the leg is in his freezer. Jesus. All right. Since everybody's all grossed out right now, it's a perfect time to talk about the Great Food Giveaway. Yesterday at about this time, I had received terrific donations, and they're all terrific. The great Big Fraud Zane, great donation, Big Fraud Zane. We got a beautiful donation from Kevin Kuipers. Thank you. We got a beautiful donation from Ryan. I got a beautiful donation from Rob V. If everyone sent little donations, because these were all gigantic donations. These people are sending hundreds of dollars. We would be done with this and not sweating the cost of the food for the Great Food Giveaway and then be working on other things like tipping off the media, which I'll still do, about showing up to shine some light onto what we're doing, to one of those holiday spirit stories. Talking with my friends from the Grand Rapids Pitbull Alliance, because in the back of my brain, the enemy is trying to convince me, talking all this religion stuff, that we're going to fail. That we are not going to raise $5,570, the total for all items for the Great Food Giveaway. The ham, 89 cents a pound. We're collecting 200 hams, 400 cans of vegetables, 200 bags of potatoes, 200 jars of gravy, 200 packages of King's Hawaiian rolls, and 200 pumpkin pies. This gang of audience member misfits will then get together. We'll box it all at Irvine's, set them up, and it'll be a wall. Every year, it's a giant wall of food to give away. People pull up, pop the trunk, put the food in. See you later. Off they go. After Rob V., Kevin K., and Ryan W.'s donations, we were done for the day. They continue to trickle in as we are now T-minus 21 days till the Great Food Giveaway. I am 1,000,000% confident, but I do have a little bit of anxiety that gets me from time to time saying, oh my God, are we going to be able to do this? Are we going to be able to do this? That's an awful big hunk that we bit off. Hell yes, we're going to be able to do this. We are doubling the output of the great food giveaway this year. I will continue to stress the sponsor contributions. Thank you, Linda H. I forgot to mention you for the November 25th donation you made. Maybe I mentioned it, but I need to continue to hammer this until we get this done. Thank you so much if you've given. You are awesome. And if you're still thinking about it, oh, I forgot. Getting back to the sponsor thing. I will, if it comes down to it, make phone calls to sponsors to really dive into the great food giveaway. Irvine's broke the ice with a $500 donation to get this thing started. Let's get it started now. Let's get it started. Yeah. If you are a sponsor, Stevie says, call Joe Martinez. He's loaded. Oh, you know I'm going to put his ass on the spot. You know that's happening. At Eric Zane Show on PayPal, at Eric-Zaitunian on Venmo. Megan says, want me to call and challenge them? I will make us give more. I double dog dare ya. I never turn help away. Well, I turn some away. It's for the show, Eric. Linda says, Joe Martinez should be the last call to make up the difference needed. So say, hey, Joe, we need $300. All right. I'm going to leave it right there. That's all I have to say about the great food giveaway. Just think about it. Just think about it. Thank you so much. As John Kitna would say, pray about it. Pray about it. I'm not kidding you. Do not feel silly or embarrassed. I'm not making it up. About a $1 donation. About a $5 donation. You do what you can. You do what you can. And we collect this money. And like I said, right now we're sitting probably about $2,400. And then we will buy all the food. And we will have a hell of a time. Aram says there is no reason I see to not post the donation link on Zaniacs United. Hey, I have nothing to do with that, and I don't look at it. No one, I don't have it. I talked to all the moles, and I said, do not send me anything. I do not want to hear about all of the shit talking going over there. I'm in a better place because I don't see it. If you feel like it, by all means. If they delete it, well, then you kind of understand what's going on with those folks. I don't care. You do whatever you can. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you so much. All right, in just a few short minutes, I am reaching out to the one, the only, Kyle from Dumpster Divers, who I'll say to him, I go, dude, you're going to be called upon as a sponsor to donate for the Great Food Giveaway. Some stupidity in sports announcing. Thank you to Mike Ball for this one. You know what? Actually, hold on. Let me pause here. Because, again, I'm completely behind. 52 minutes into the show, 53 minutes into the show-ish. And I haven't even really talked about any of my sponsors yet. And then I hate that because then I'll get going with Kyle. And I'll eat into another half an hour of time. And then, the last half hour of the show is all ads, for fuck's sake. The open and live stream of this show brought to you by the Kent County Health Department. Today is World AIDS Day. All day, they're testing for HIV. Well, you can get a test anytime, but today's a big day in particular. Now, I know this sounds ridiculous, but if for some reason, and that's, again, no judging here. People sometimes have a few sex partners, but most organizations don't say it like that. I do because it's me. But you are really rolling the dice if you have a few sex partners and you do not get tested for HIV. It's still very real, and it still kills people. The good news is, though, if you get it diagnosed, you can have an absolutely normal life and survive. Also, if you aren't positive for HIV, believe it or not, there's a pill you can take that you can lower your risk of ever being infected with HIV. Okay? If you choose not to get tested and are positive, HIV will slowly destroy your immune system, and then you will die of AIDS. So wouldn't it be nice to just walk in, a little pinprick blood sample, 1 minute later, you're going to find out if there's HIV in your blood. I know that's probably the most stark thing about this. They let you know right there. And then you go, what? And they go, let's do another test. Do another test. Yeah, it's confirmed. You are HIV positive. Good news. You are in the absolute epicenter of all of the support you will ever need to get you on the road to recovery. You know, back years ago, it was like Dallas Buyers Club, for fuck's sake. Did you ever see that movie? Oh, my God. Fantastic movie. So go get tested. If you're in to lots of dick or V, go get tested. All right? World AIDS Day today. If you are in and around West Michigan, Kent County Health Department, accesskent.com/health. Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider of this show. If you have a small or a medium-sized business and your employees roll their eyes because it takes 15 minutes for their stupid computer to boot up, printer doesn't work, router's a disaster, can't even get a keyboard to work, it's time for an upgrade. But for your business, don't just start buying random shit off the shelves. Sit down for a complimentary consultation with Blue Frost IT. They'll tell you what you need and price it all out for you. They do that. That's their service. They'll help you set up your equipment when you purchase it. And then they'll become your managed IT service provider in the event you need any help on a regular basis. More details on that when you talk to them. 616-200-8550 for Blue Frost IT. As you know, I'm on Patreon. Sign up on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane for 11 bonus episodes each and every week. Hours and hours of content on my Patreon. Thank you to the newest people on Patreon. It would be Cade, Adam S. I appreciate you. I mentioned this before. Rachel K., who at one point in her life was dating St. Joe Gaslight. She is on Patreon. We thank you so much. I was actually embarrassed by that. I go, oh, come on. You don't have to do that. She goes, no, I like it. I like the Ben and Eric show. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. I'm on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. Hire me on Cameo for, I think it's $15.99. Dirt cheap. If anybody's got a birthday coming up, holiday wishes, I can take care of them on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane, or download the Cameo app. I've got a mortgage guy, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. If you're up for getting a mortgage to buy a home, you get the mortgage before you even start buying the home and get pre-approved. Mario is a 5-star, gold level rated mortgage professional, him and his staff. Rated number 1, 231-332-6505. Reach out about 5-star service from the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, NMLS number 3035. Voted number 1 by Real Estate Peers. And you can take advantage of his services from anywhere in the U.S., with the exception of Alaska, Hawaii, South Carolina, and Maine. All right. Before I bring Kyle from Dumpster Divers in, A&E Heating and Cooling. Senor Martinez.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Well, that's terrible.
Ya no te voy a dar mis nalgas.
Did you just say no more butthole for you?
Ya no te voy a dar mis nalgas.
General to what?
Ya no te voy a dar mis nalgas.
Mis nalgas? You say it so fast.
Ya no te voy a dar mis nalgas.
If you could just slow down, I could get these at a better rate. Is that general?
Ya no te voy a dar mis nalgas.
Yeah, General Telvoida mis nalgas. It's all fucked up. He's laughing hysterically right now. Reach out to Joe Martinez. It's cold as hell right now. It's 29 degrees. If your furnace goes south, it's your own damn fault because you didn't call Joe Martinez and have that thing tuned up and cleaned. $79. Get that taken care of. You should see Joe Martinez and his crew twice a year. Once for the furnace, once for the AC. 616-516-8579. Genital toivus mis nalgas.
Ya no te voy a dar mis nalgas.
Genital toivus mis nalgas. Joe Martinez, thank you, from A&E Heating and Cooling. Reaching out to our pal Kyle from Dumpster Divers. Well, hello, Eric Zane.
Eric J. Zane.
Hey, Kyle, how are you?
Just chilling.
Did we talk last week?
No, dude, it was Thanksgiving, dude.
Oh, that's right. Hey, did you stay home or did you go to somebody's house?
Yeah, we went to my parents' house, their newer house out in Allegan, and it was a pretty wild affair, actually.
Oh yeah, did anybody get shit faced?
No, well, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't say. You know what? I'm sorry I asked that question because I shouldn't say that because then you'll feel, like wanting to give it away, but then you'll get in trouble. Blue will kick your ass.
No. There were some people drinking some wine. Here's the thing. Here's what happened, right? So my fucking uncle who lives in North Carolina, who was just up here not too long ago, he came up with his daughter, which is my cousin. Well, you guys know how family stuff works. Anyway, so my cousin came up to surprise my grandma, because my grandma came too. And I don't know, it's been a long time since they'd seen each other or whatever. So there was like this huge undercover secret operation to surprise her or whatever.
Okay.
So they came, but my uncle, he was drinking wine along with some other people, and then he did end up spilling. He like kicked over the wine glass and spilled it. So, I mean, I don't think he was hammered, but he was feeling that wine a little bit for sure. Yeah, and then he had to lead another secret undercover operation to clean it up out of the carpet before my mom noticed.
Oh my God!
Which was a success, actually.
Wow. All right. Yeah, as long as he can get out of there without her knowing, and then then it's okay. Then you're in the clear. Because as time passes, she might notice and say, "How did this happen?" And then you just start to lie. Say, "I don't know."
Yeah. He ran out and grabbed a bunch of paper towel, and then that carpet shit, whatever it's called, Resolve maybe, and just
okay.
So somehow it came out real good actually, which was unexpected.
Fuck Fucking A, man. Hey, did you hear? Do you remember the Lion quarterback John Kitna?
Oh yeah.
Have you heard about him and did you hear about his son?
No.
Okay, so his son is a freshman, redshirt freshman at Florida. He just finished his first year at Florida. He played he threw maybe 20 balls this year, and then they redshirted him. So Kitna, when he played for the Lions and the Bengals, he is a real holy roller, super religious.
Okay.
I mean, really religious. He'd say, okay, so if he's calling the play, he's like, all right, guys, I want you to do the screen option and then praise Jesus. Jesus on 3. One of those deals.
Okay.
The kid, his son, just got busted for child porno.
Oh, hell yes, dude. That is wild, baby.
Yeah. So now it's that's fucking. Can you imagine if if Jameson grows up and everything's perfect, and then one day the cops bang on the door and say your kid's the largest distributor of kiddie porno in Michigan. I mean, that you just want to hang yourself right there.
That's rough. That's well, how old is he's 18, 19 then?
Yeah,
or
he's
something?
19 and he's got kiddie porno.
Oh man, yeah, he just waited a little bit too long, huh?
Oh God, yeah, he's facing 15 years in prison. Man, how would you respond to that if you found out that that happened? Would you well, you're fucked, and then just walk away, or would you? I mean, because that kind of puts the dad in a tough spot.
Yeah, that's my the old Asperger side of me. When shit happens like that, I am very much like that. I'm very much well, when you make a decision, the consequences that happen are the consequences. But I think in that particular situation, I would have to channel my inner Jean-Claude Van Damme and maybe just roundhouse him to the face.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, shit. All right. So, I did Thanksgiving too. It turned out that the wedding that we had for my daughter, that was a super spreader. I don't know if you know about that. Oh
no. What do you mean, of sickness, or are we going back to the COVID-19?
It was a super spreader COVID-19 party. And then that led to a super spreader Thanksgiving party. That's what we're dealing with right now. So I'm kind of on pins and needles. So that's horrible. How about you? Are you staying healthy? What's going on in your world?
Yeah, dude, I just drink my apple cider vinegar every morning, dude, and I stay as healthy as they come, dude.
And now, are you a no shot guy or are you a shot guy?
Yeah, I'm a no shot guy, dude.
Oh fuck.
No, dude, I can't risk it, dude. I mean, there's just too much. There's too much shit out there of people just dying randomly, dude. And I'm just not into it. I just want to. If I'm gonna die, I would just die of regular shit. I would like to die of.
All right. I cannot support this decision of yours.
No, I don't get the flu shot either, dude.
Oh, that's awful. But then again, I'm old, and I've now had COVID twice. So I mean, maybe you're onto something. Maybe.
Yeah, dude, I've had 0 shots and 0 COVID. So I like those odds better. How many shots do you have?
5.
Yeah, see, so you're at a 40% clip, dude. 2 COVIDs and 5 shots. I'm on 0 shots and 0, dude. So I'm winning in my mind.
That's horrible. Yeah, you are, and I don't like it. I wish I wasn't addicted to getting COVID shots.
It's the new opioid epidemic, dude.
All right, Kyle, what else you got on your mind? What's going on? You have any stories for us that caught your attention that you'd like to break down?
Yeah, so actually so this is let me tell you about the Thanksgiving meeting or the Thanksgiving party. What do you call it? not a party, a Thanksgiving gathering is whatever. So I knew it was going to be wild, right? Because here's the thing. So my dad and my grandma are exactly alike, which means that they're fucking wild, dude. You know what I mean? Like, my dad is the baby of the family. There 5 kids, I think? 5 or 6 kids. You know, there's a tons of kids because he was born in the 60s.
Yeah.
But so he's wild.
Hurry into Ram Power Days and experience the raw power of the Ram 3500 with available best-in-class torque and towing among 350 3500 pickups when properly equipped. Strap yourself in for one powerful ride in the Ram TRX with the most horsepower of any gas pickup ever built. Or the Ram 1500, awarded #1 in driver appeal among light-duty pickups by J.D. Power 3 years in a row. Hurry into Ram Power Days going on now. For J.D. Power 2022 U.S. award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
This holiday season, Peloton's got a gift for you. Right now, get up to $200 off accessories with the purchase of a Peloton Shred. Accessories like non-slip grip resistance bands, a heart rate monitor, yoga blocks, and more. Take your workout to the next level with Peloton. Motivation that moves you. Hurry, this limited time offer ends December 25th. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. All access membership separate. Offer ends December 25th. Cannot be combined with other offers. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
Your plans? Today it's dinner with the parents at your spot.
We gotta come back here.
Now, their spot. Or you're on the edge of your seat at the game.
Come on, just one time.
And it's the one. Or maybe you're catching the next flight to...
Now boarding flight 1850.
Oh, that's you. The choice is yours. And when you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.
And she's wild. And he 100% got it from her because my grandpa, he's been dead for a while now, but my grandpa, I'm more like him, like very fucking chill and very fucking like smooth in terms of like when wild shit's happening, you're just like very chill.
Okay.
And then like my grandpa was always like whatever, so getting wild, he just like smirk at people and just like say something pretty chill and badass, and then people would be like, you know. But my grandma is just full of fucking fire, dude.
Okay.
So anyways, I knew it was gonna be wild because there was a time when my dad and my grandma got mad at each other because they're exactly alike, and then they didn't talk for like years. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah, I sure do. Doing it right now.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I'm actually doing it right now with a brother.
So yeah, it happens. But anyways, so they made up eventually, and I don't even remember how that happened because I don't like to insert myself in drama that is not mine. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So they eventually made up or whatever, and they've seen each other, more recently. But anyway, it was Thanksgiving, and so my grandma was coming, and she brought her bottle of wine, so she was about to get a little bit litskis. And then my uncle was there drinking the wine, and my uncle was born in Michigan, of course, but moved to North Carolina when he was 18. So he is now like a Southern dude. You know what I mean? He talks Southern.
Sure.
He like acts Southern. It's like very
right. He sounds dumb.
So he's very chill too, but he's like taller than my dad and has like a real deep voice. So then if he gets fired up about stuff, he's gonna argue too. So anyways, I was like, this is gonna be good. I was telling Blue beforehand. I was like, we're gonna see some shit, dude. And so anyways, they're drinking their wine. We're watching the Lions game or whatever. And then my grandma's sitting in the living room. Anyways, there's a dude. I don't remember if it was a Lions player or a Bills player, but he had like tattoos on his arm, right?
Right.
So and my grandma you can see her just looking at the TV with like a nasty look on her face. And I like elbowed Blue. I'm like, oh, something's about to happen.
Okay.
And so she goes, I can't believe he has tattoos all over his arm. And she's like, they shouldn't even let him play. So I'm laughing because I'm like, can you imagine if that was the rule in the NFL?
Right.
You got tattoos, you can't fucking play them. So anyways, like she's like got like real pissed about that. So then my dad, who was also in the living room, but like not like necessarily like right by us, like talking to us, he like runs over and he's like, well, what do you mean, Mom?
Oh,
and
yeah.
She starts spouting off about tattoos and how it's like despicable and stuff. And then my dad's like, what are you talking about? It's 2022. And then my grandma then goes on a religious rant about how you're not supposed to like defile your body, like because God gave it to you or whatever, and like all this stuff. So she's going to town, right? She's sitting in a chair, but it's like she's up at a podium, and like everybody has to listen to her go on this rant.
So it's all quiet. Everybody's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. So she's going off, right? And I'm just laughing, and Blue's laughing, and Jameson's running all around, just doing this thing. And so then my sister, my younger sister, and her kids, because she's got 5 kids, they were all there too. And at this time, she had come to the living room, and my sister has tattoos, right?
Oh, fuck!
But my grandma doesn't know this, right? Because she just got them on her arm or whatever.
Okay.
So, anyways, like. My grandma's going off, but like since Kayla, my younger sister's there, like the pressure cooker is building, and I'm like, yes, this is going to be fucking good. Dude.
Yes.
Then my dad starts going at my grandma, and he was, because he likes to just be irrational and like yell things back at my grandma. So then my dad says, well, you got glasses, so you better just, take off your glasses. You can never wear them again because God made you to have like shitty eyesight.
Wait a second here.
Like,
so
you can't.
His retort is glasses?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And so he's slamming her and like, yeah, you take off the glasses then, you can't, you're like editing the body that God gave you. And so he's going to town on her and she's going back to town on him, whatever. So my uncle's sitting there, he's just quiet, but he's like drinking his wine and listening or whatever. And then my grandma, who is famous for repeatedly dyeing her hair, even though she's like super fucking old.
Okay.
So I've never seen her with like white hair. It's always like brown or like,
of course,
honey colored or whatever, the old person hair color. So anyways, then my uncle, he waits for like a little pause and he's like, Mom, that's kind of what he sounds like. He's like, you need to stop dyeing your hair then. And then she looks at him because she wasn't expecting any fire coming from my uncle. So then she's like, what? And then he goes off on her about, not dyeing your hair because, there was no hair dye back in the biblical times.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
This is great.
So then they're going to town, and then it's like my dad's still going. And then my sister, because my grandma said something like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like how, if it's your family or something like that. I don't know. She said something weird. Then Kayla goes, well, Grandma, I have tattoos. And then she looked at my sister like she was going to kill her.
Oh,
like she was going to murder.
Fuck.
She was like, what? She was like, you got tattoos?
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there just watching, just like having the time of my life. And so then like a huge family argument started about the tattoos. It was cool, dude.
That is something. Can you imagine if like one of the family members was gay or maybe like a transgender or married to a transgender person or some shit? Her head would explode.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You know what? Old people are institutionalized. Okay, they're so set in their ways, it comes off as stupid, but it's not. It's not stupid. It's just what they've been. It's just the way they were brought up.
I know. I do think about that often because I'm like, so I'm fuck. How old am I? 32, 33.
Right.
33. Yeah, and I know, and like, there's like times like I can't even remember like even like I can remember like shit from like my early teens and whatnot, but like I can't even like really remember necessarily how I was, on a day-to-day basis.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, when you're fucking, because I think she's 87. I think she's like 87 or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, you know what I mean? Like she probably like can't remember nothing really at this point. Fuck. Like how would you even remember what you were like when you started to believe those things? So for sure.
Oh, my God. Incredible. Next time, start to record that shit.
I know. Yeah. No, here's the thing. Yeah. I get in trouble with Blue because I'm not like I don't take pictures. Like I'm not like I'm like a live in the moment type guy.
Okay,
like just experience it for what it is.
Yeah. You were enjoying the show. Yeah. So I was just in it, dude. Just like, and then of course,
here's another family dynamic that you guys can learn about. So, I was a fucking like a goody two shoes for sure when I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like the only kid in my family that like finished college or whatever, because my younger sister started going, but then she started having kids, so she stopped or whatever.
All right, fine.
So anyways, everyone's always like, Kayla, my younger sister, was always all over me because she was like, "Oh, you're grandma's favorite," and like blah blah blah, because you never do anything wrong, and like all this type of shit. And so anyways, we were like out in the kitchen afterwards, and Kayla's like, she's like, "Oh yeah, you didn't get yelled at for nothing in there." I'm like, "Well, I don't got no damn tattoos." Like I wasn't gonna say nothing to bring the fire on me, dude.
No. You're smart. God, I respect the shit out of how you enjoyed that. I mean, you kept to yourself and you were dying. What a terrific, entertaining Thanksgiving that sounds like.
Oh, for sure. It was nice and sick.
I love that. Oh, my God. Hey, all right. Well, I hate to put you on the spot, but we're having a discussion about sponsor because we're doing the Great Food Giveaway. Are you familiar? Have you heard me talk about yet the Great Food Giveaway?
Maybe it rings a bell from last year, but I'm not sure.
All right. So we're feeding 200 families and buying a ton of food to do that. Each person that pulls up at Irvine's Auto Repair gets a box full of food, which has a ham, vegetables, potatoes, gravy, King's Hawaiian rolls, and a pumpkin pie. And that costs a ton of money. Like over $5,600 is what we're raising. We're at about $2,400 right now. Irvine's, they dropped $500. So they're going to be calling you and telling you to fucking pay up, motherfucker, because you're bragging about how cash heavy you are. So just so you know, it's coming.
Okay.
Maureen says Kyle can bring a dumpy down to Irvine's for people to throw non-cash donations in.
Yeah, that'd be. You know what? Now my mind is working. We do like doing like nice shit like that for the community. So yeah, I gotta talk to Amelia about it and figure out how I can.
Of course. You can't just you gotta talk with Emilio. That's when I know that the prime shit is happening, when the conversation with Emilio is happening.
Yeah, I know, which always takes forever.
Yep, yeah, that's okay. So anyway, buddy, what is there anything else going on that we need to cover, or is that it for the day?
Yeah, I tried looking at fucking news articles and shit, and there wasn't too much crazy shit going on, but I did find one thing that I thought was at least a little bit funny. And I didn't even like read the whole article, but there was some fucking place in the world, and this fucking moose got stuck in somebody's basement. Well, that's what it said in the headline. It was like police rescue some moose that was trapped in somebody's house, right?
Uh-huh.
And so anyways, the whole point of that, why I think it's funny, is because maybe that moose wasn't trapped, dude. You know what I mean? Like maybe that moose, like when they were trying to get out, he's like, dude, I fucking like it in here, dude. You know how cold it is out there? And like, you know what I mean? Like that moose was probably just like, dude, I'm not going to fuck anything up. Just let me chill, dude.
I think I see that story. Moose ends up in Breckenridge basement.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now because there's the fucking moose. If you're on Twitch, Kyle, and he's walking up to the ping pong table. This big fucking moose. It's warm in there. Everybody's loving that.
Yeah, dude, that moose just wants to play some pong, dude. No big fucking deal, dude. Just let him chill.
How the fuck does he wind up?
He did fuck it up, didn't he?
How the fuck does he wind up? And I see like a broken window. It might have been like a ground level basement, one of those deals.
Yeah,
that has a window at it, and then he just might have just kind of fucking wound up, and that is intense. God, what a giant!
That is wild because mooses. Well, and yeah, see, that's a big fucking moose. Like that motherfucker couldn't have just broke through a window. That motherfucker must have maybe came through the slider. Like I can imagine him breaking on a slider because that's a big old fucking moose, dude.
And then I see there's a point where they had to tranquilize him. And look.
Oh yeah, they're bringing him to jail for sure, dude.
Oh Jesus! Boy, that is what a.
Oh no, there's a bunch of blood on the floor too. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I think he might have got
police brutality on mooses, dude.
Yeah, that's right. The cops, black guy's like, I wish I got this type of treatment. Then they let this big fucking moose go, and he wanders off into the wilderness, and I see a gigantic creature like that, and part of me is also thinking about, why the fuck do you want to kill that? Are you because you hunt, don't you?
Yeah. Yep.
So did you like get a hard on wanting to shoot it when you saw the damn thing?
The moose or the deer?
The moose and any deer. You're like, oh yeah, let's go kill it.
Well, no, yeah. So a moose, I mean, I wouldn't kill a moose because number one, I only hunt like the once a year, so it's like not even a big deal. But yeah, moose or mooses, the plural of moose. Those fuckers are sweet, dude. Especially like like when you're a kid, you're just like, all right, a moose it's bigger than a deer, but that's it, whatever. But when you start seeing like some of those moose in like Alaska or whatever, where they're like 15 or 20 feet tall, like with their horns and shit, and you're like, that's a big old fucking moose. You gotta let those suckers be, dude.
Pretty sure they're not 2 stories tall.
Dude, there was I gotta find it, dude. I'm just gonna Google big ass moose.
World's biggest.
There was a picture that just like floating around the internet. It's like walking down like a road. Oh yeah, dude! If you just Google big ass moose, there's tons of fucking pictures of just huge. There's this moose right next to a fucking tree, dude. That's a big old fucking moose, dude.
Nothing's working for me right now.
But moose are sweet, dude.
Yeah, is that something people shoot and eat? Yeah, kill and eat. Is that?
Oh, that I don't know, dude.
There's some redneck just killed one. It's fucking horrible, man. I don't know how you people do this shit.
Yeah, look at the size of those horns, dude. Those are some big ass. Now, none of these pictures are the ones that I was thinking of necessarily. But those suckers are big, dude.
They're like a dinosaur.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, look at that one. You clicked on that. That's a big one. That could be 20 feet. I mean, look at the size of that road.
This motherfucker's taller than the car. That's just gigantic. And that's
you wouldn't want to fuck. You wouldn't want to fuck with one of those. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, these fucking idiots shoot him. The fuck is? Look at this asshole.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, look at those. Those horns are menacing, dude. Or I don't know if you call them horns, but those suckers are. Those are maulers, dude. If you got in contact with one of those, dude, you're not coming home. That's for sure.
I always love the video when the deer or the moose actually like hurts the hunter. Those actually make me happy when that happens. I love those. Those are the ones I like. Yeah,
I mean, hey, if we're gonna hunt them, I mean, there's got to be a little a give and take. So there's got to be some retribution. So I'm with you on that one.
If every hunting season in Michigan, there was thousands of dead hunters. That would tell you that I can promise you there'd be a lot less hunting.
Can you imagine? Oh, dude, that'd be kind of a good. Hey, if we ever get millions of dollars and are able to make a full feature film, that should be the film. That's a good ass like sci-fi film, dude. Where like it's like, but I'm not talking like just like a 90-minute thriller. I'm talking like a Hunger Games type scenario where like the whole world is different. And like when hunting season comes around, like it's a war, dude. Yeah. And you got like the deer out there fucking like plotting. And the deer, they probably have cannons too. We got to give the deer cannons in this movie.
Sure, it's Game of Thrones style battle, one of those. Fucking.
And then there's got to be like a king deer who's like fucking 20 to 30 feet tall with like a big ass fucking 20-point rack, just commanding the troops. I like this idea, dude.
Just killing these hillbillies.
Yeah, for sure. With like a vicious head whip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Be fantastic. I'm all for it. All right. Really good. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I'm going to cut you loose.
All right. Love you guys.
Real quick, dumpsterdiversllc.com is your website, and people can go there and, get a dumpster.
Yeah, hit us up. November turned out to be a pretty good. I do want to say this. Dumpster Divers is not cash heavy. Dumpster Divers is sales heavy. That's for sure. We're paying back shit tons of fucking loans and shit. So yeah, we are not cash heavy, but we are sales heavy, which is nice.
I like that you threw that in. All right, very good. Okay, buddy. I'll talk to you.
All right, see you guys.
See ya. Kyle from Dumpster Divers, thank you. He's like, yeah, I'm not giving you any damn money. That's what he was saying there. I'm totally kidding. He loves helping out with shit like that. All right. Thank you to Mike Ball for sending this along. The audio is going to be a little bit hard to hear. It's okay. I will paraphrase, or I will quote the important part. All you need to know here, and by the way, the reason why the audio is kind of wonky on this is because it happened during a basketball game, and sorry, I was distracted. His son Evan heard something that caught his ear and thought, Dad, this doesn't sound right to me. Evan's a teenager. Evan was watching a college basketball game between Iowa and Georgia Tech yesterday as part of Giving Tuesday. ESPN was doing something with the Jimmy V Cancer Research charitable organization. Jimmy V is the basketball coach, former basketball coach he passed away with NC State, and he had a very, very famous speech at the ESPYs as he was entering the final stages of his life, where they gave him this award for courage and a very famous speech in which he said, don't give up, don't ever give up. And it's this incredibly poignant moment, not a dry eye in the house. And he did, in fact, succumb to cancer. And so the charitable organization was born. Yesterday, the basketball game, I think, was called the Jimmy V Classic or something like that. And so the first announcer of the two is talking about the importance of that. And then the color commentator, guy number two, says something. And that's where things get a little weird. Audio check. Video check. All right.
It is Giving Tuesday. So if you can help us make a difference, you're able to get that v.org/donate 100%.
All right. Giving Tuesday. If you can, maybe just a very polite little ask. Nice, polite ask. Giving Tuesday. If you could, just go to the website, v.org.
It is Giving Tuesday. So if you can help us make a difference, you're able to get that v.org/donate 100% of your donation goes to cancer research.
All right, 100% of your donation goes to cancer research. And then this happens.
You do save a lot of money on haircuts and shampoo on the lighter side. Hey, that great head of hair you have is...
The other guy said, you do save a lot of money on haircuts and shampoo, referring to if you have cancer. What?
Donation goes to cancer research. You do save a lot of money on haircuts and shampoo on the lighter side. Hey, that...
On the latter side. Yeah, that's right. As you're undergoing chemotherapy, destroying the cancer cells, your hair is going to fall out. Ha-ha! Yeah, you save a lot of cash on haircuts and shampoo. Hey, on the latter side, your food bill goes down because you're nauseous from your treatment, and you waste away. It's kind of what kills you. Oh, on the lighter side, You lose a lot of weight and your clothes fit again. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Come on. You do save a lot of money on haircuts and shampoo. Oh. So I immediately respond to Mike Ball and I go, all right, being that it was recorded from phone, sometimes we get that. There's gotta be, you're just sending me this because there's a better clip somewhere, right? And I cannot find it anywhere. That is the type of clip that you would see making the rounds everywhere. Awful announcing, all of those, anything Barstool related. It's on all. Everybody's talking about it, and then whoever that guy is now fucked. You know. And he somehow, this color commentator, don't know who he is in the Georgia Tech Iowa game, appears to be okay. No one's said shit about this. The only evidence is what Mike Ball sent me. Unless if I'm just not doing a bang-up job looking for it. But I scanned. Chris says he snuck it by the goalie, sweating his ass off, waiting for the hammer to drop. Agreed. Sean says that is a big fraud, Zane. Joke for sure. I would, no. There is no way. Well, no, I take it back. Maybe at one point in time I would have dropped that joke. Mark Neely or Kevin Lehman. Chris says you should send that to Barstool. You know, I think I will. Send that to Barstool. What the hell, you know? What do I care? Can you imagine if the guy gets fucking fired because of that? Thank you to Drew V for your donation on the Great Food Giveaway. You are very kind. FYI, if you send it PayPal, send it as a gift. I think if you do that, PayPal will not charge a fee. Thank you, Drew, out of Pulaski, Wisconsin. The great people of Wisconsin. I cannot get that Biden bit out of my head. Ryan writes, hey, Eric, the first time I played Bet on Ben a few weeks back, I won. I wanted to make it into a bit of mine because you both said I lost in the Ben and Eric show. Oh, you're right. But instead, wondering if those winnings could be pushed over to the Great Food Giveaway. Of course, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you the money, and then because I have to keep track of it appropriately, and the best way to do it is that if it sources from you. But so I'm keeping track of it that way. So I will basically, it'll be like that scene in The Naked Gun where Frank Drebin gives him the money and then the guy gives it back to him. So that's what we're going to do. But thank you. That you're right. You did win. So I will send you your money, and then much appreciated. That is very kind of you, Ryan. Big fraud Zane. All right, where the hell am I? I also wanted to get into this. This one's making the rounds, too. Jack Edwards, who's a hockey announcer. I think he was drunk here. He sounded drunk. He's busting on Pat Maroon of the, I think, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pat Maroon of the Lightning, he's a big guy. He's 6'3", and I guess Jack Edwards wanted to make fun of his weight. All right. Audio check. And video check. Here you go. He goes on for like 30 seconds here.
Listed at 238 pounds. That was day one of training camp. I got a feeling he's had a few more pizzas between then and now.
Yeah, that's before pregame.
Right. Fasting.
So basically, Maroon comes on for a shift, and for the entire shift, Jack Edwards is calling him a fat fuck. Pat Maroon gets out of the ice. Oh, great. Out of the ice. He's getting more shit than what I gave Kate for breaking all the treadmills and destroying the New Jersey sidewalks.
Listed at 238 pounds.
But the difference is Maroon never gave Jack Edwards shit, which is why I gave Thunder Thighs Kate so much shit. She gave me shit, so I responded in kind. That's how it goes. Maroon didn't do anything. He just goes on the ice for a shift.
Listed at 238 pounds. That was day one of training camp. I got a feeling he's had a few more pizzas between then and now.
He sounds drunk. I have more pizzas.
Yeah, that's before pregame.
Yeah, right. Fasting. Chris, inadvertent fasting for Pat Maroon is like 4 hours without a meal.
I think he meant intermittent.
3 cups in a row. Who can argue with his formula?
Okay, so I just want to say that I think every bit of that is awesome. Stevie asks the question, did this go over the air? Yes. Ryan says he sounds totally blasted. I agree. He did sound blasted. He's had a few more pizzas. We need, if it wasn't 2022, this would be fantastic. Nowadays, you cannot do this in most places. That's why I'm in this room right now. That's why I will not be on the radio. You cannot do this in 2022. It is not appropriate for the world. And that's a GD shame. Because I think it's great. I wish we lived in a world where if some fat fuck comes on the ice, you could go, oh, great. Here comes Tub of Guts. Oh, Tub of Guts makes a move. He's still got the hands. He scores. Come on. But everybody's so sensitive these days. You can't do that. You cannot go the way Jack Edwards did. Edwards and Pat Maroon are probably very close friends. I would argue that they are, and Maroon found it hilarious. But Maroon is pulling a judo maneuver to fuck with Jack Edwards. I can promise you, Jack Edwards and Pat Maroon are pals. This person who I ripped the clip from is Frank Saravalli, hockey insider and president of hockey content at Daily Faceoff. He's a podcaster. 252,000 followers. He writes, a blowhard broadcaster, fat-shaming a professional athlete and 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Pat Maroon doesn't deserve that. No one does. Go home, Jack. You actually sound drunk. He pulled this from Pete Blackburn. So it's viral now. Who has 132,000 followers. He writes, Pat Maroon, fully minding his own business, playing the game. Jack Edwards busts him for the entire shift. All right. Now, does that make me a horrible person because I find this to be spectacular? Yes, it does. It does. It does make me a horrible person. There is a time and a place for hilarious fat ass humor. And that time was right then and there. And that's why Jack Edwards needs to be applauded. Tyler says, I feel like Mickey Redmond would also crack jokes about Maroon's weight. Andy Brickley is the other commentator on NESN. So they're local Boston commentators. They're homers. This is where Maroon turns the table. Like I said, wouldn't surprise me if Maroon is in on it and laughing along with it. But just to fuck with Jack Edwards, he's doing this. The 34-year-old took to Twitter on Wednesday to announce that, quote, in support of those struggling with mental health, bullying, and body image, he had made a $2,000 donation in Jack Edwards' name to Tampa Bay Thrives, a nonprofit that assists those who struggle with mental health and substance abuse issues. Look at, and he even, when he busted out that information, he tagged Jack Edwards. Oh, no. And Steven Stamkos gets in on it, his teammate. Well done, Patty. Donating now. Oh, no. He came through to support the player affectionately known as Big Rig. So there you go. All's well that ends well, except for Jack Edwards and the other fucker in the booth with him, Andy Brickley. Shit. So if Jack Edwards gets shit canned for calling Pat Maroon a fat fuck, then Maroon has to go and say, yeah, hey, I don't care. All right. Or maybe he actually is upset. I would be shocked, though. There's no way that Jack Edwards, who has been around forever, would do that unless if he had some type of relationship with him. That's the risk you run when you do amazing charitable works like insult a fat ass. Okay? You run that risk. I think Jack Edwards needs some kind of award for being hilarious to Pat Maroon out on the ice for his 30-second blistering he gave him during his entire shift. Holy crap. All right. One of the Biden administration officials is in trouble. It is a person named Sam Brinton. No one really knows who Sam Brinton is. And if you're watching the live stream right now, keep your tongue bit on the plot twist on Sam Brinton. Sam Brinton is the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Office of Spent Fuel and Weight Disposition at the Department of Energy's Office of Nuclear Energy. So as the Deputy Assistant Secretary, and there's an office called the Office of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition. So I guess like if you're in, the regulatory commission that takes care of nuclear power plants and things like that, there is spent fuel that needs to be appropriately dealt with. And they have a whole office for that. Well, Sam Brinton is the Deputy Assistant Secretary of that office. A lot of education, a lot of travel, a lot of oversight, a lot of government. Brinton is being accused of stealing some mom's suitcase from the Minnesota, or from an airport in Minnesota. I don't know which one. It was Minneapolis, St. Paul. Back in September, a beautiful Vera Bradley bag comes around the carousel, and Brinton is accused of taking the bag. It's a high-end piece of luggage. 26-inch navy blue hard-sided roller bag. There's something to be said about a nice piece of luggage, by the way. Now, if you're like me, when you travel, you go to Walmart and you get a piece of shit bag, and then after you land and the baggage handlers have handled the bag, so you put it, you check the bag, you go to the gate, and then the losers that work at the airport then throw the bag. And because you bought shit, it's now in pieces. All the wheels are busted off. You get to your destination and you got to fucking carry it because you bought shit. You didn't buy a good bag, and it's all your fault. The people at the airport are supposed to break your bags. Okay? Inside of the bag, the bag itself and its contents were estimated to be worth $2,325. In fact, Vera Bradley. Hold on, my computer. Not my computer. This is stupid. I got to get a hardwired keyboard. I don't like the wireless ones because sometimes it doesn't talk to the computer. Vera Bradley, 26-inch luggage price. These are not cheap. You're going to pay upwards of $500 for one of these bags. And so mom is waiting on the carousel and no bag. That's because Sam Brinton is walking off with it. Surveillance footage captured Brinton, 35 years old, taking the bag from the carousel at 4:45 after Brinton arrived at the airport on an American Airlines flight from D.C. The complaint says that Brinton took off the bag's tag, so gets the bag, takes the tag off, and leaves at a quick pace before hopping into a cab. All caught on video. Now, how could someone like this person who has, no doubt, extensive education and knows that there's a lot on the line if they are a kleptomaniac and start stealing people's shit, and you're probably being watched everywhere, and this person was, why would you roll the dice? Every step of this person's path was covered, with the exception of the ride in the cab. They see this person stealing the bag. They see this person get into the cab. Brinton was then seen on surveillance footage checking into a luxury riverfront hotel in St. Paul with the bag. 2 days later, Brinton was seen checking the bag, now using the bag, before going back to D.C. Brinton also seen carrying the bag after getting it through the carousel at Washington Dulles, and then in Virginia after returning from a European trip. So everywhere this asshole goes, it's got mom's bag. The cops in Minnesota called Brenton and said, yeah, we've got you everywhere in the world with the fucking bag. Brenton said, nope, I didn't take anything. If I took the wrong bag, I'm happy to return it. But I don't have any clothes for another individual. They were all my clothes when I opened the bag. The complaint says that Brenton then called the cop back 2 hours later and said, you know, I haven't been completely honest. Brenton told the cop, I was tired. I picked up the wrong bag and only realized when I got to the hotel. And this person refers to themselves as they. Brenton told the officer that they were tired and picked up the wrong bag and only realized when they got to the hotel and opened the suitcase. The complaint says Brenton got nervous that people would think they stole the bag and did not know what to do. Brenton told police they left the clothes from the bag inside the drawers in the hotel room and admitted to taking the bag back to the airport on September 18th. When Brenton was questioned why they would use the bag, Brenton said they thought it would be weirder to leave the luggage in the hotel room rather than the clothes, the court said, or the court papers say. Police did not recover any clothes from the hotel room. Some mom is without her bag and without her personal items because of this asshole. The owner has not gotten the bag back yet. The Department of Energy told Insider on Tuesday that Brenton is on leave from the agency and that Dr. Kim Petrie is now performing the duties of Deputy Assistant Secretary of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition. Well, thank God. An attorney for Brenton did not immediately respond to a request for comment by Insider. Now, not really related to the story. I'll get to that final part last. But anyway, Brenton faces up to 5 years in prison for a $10,000 or a $10,000 fine or both. It's a felony. They are scheduled to make their first court appearance in Minnesota's 4th Judicial District Court on December 19th. Since news of Brenton's arrest, some pundits have been weighing in, one of which is the son of former President Trump. Big Fraud Zane, Donald Trump Jr. He is now using the criminal case. Now, this is where it gets off the rails completely. It's terrible as it is. But where it gets fucked up is where Trump Jr. is now using the criminal case to bash Brenton over their gender identity. Sam Brenton is non-binary. Trump Jr. said, who could have seen this coming from they, them? GOP Representative Lauren Boebert referred to Brenton as this man hired by Joe Biden is a thief, along with a photo of Brenton in a dress. All right. This is Sam Brenton. Okay. Now, we are getting to a spot in the world where this is not a big deal. And it really shouldn't be. But it does take time. You go back 30 years ago, a person who was born a man and wants to be neutral, non-binary, or a woman is more and more a common thing. I don't care. I don't think that Sam Brenton being non-binary has anything to do with Sam Brinton being an asshole. You can be an asshole and a thief if you are non-binary. Is it binary or binary? I think it's binary. I'm going to stick with binary. And in fact, your old pal Eric Zane, there was a time when I would look at Sam Brinton and say terrible things like Lauren Boebert and Donald Trump Jr. For the record, I don't think anyone's gender has anything to do with the theft. Okay? I will say that people who are in this phase, like we see with Sam Brinton, with looking like, with the bald head and the perfectly manicured eyebrows and gigantic lipstick, and it resembles a man, but very different, very unique. I'm fascinated by that. I love that. So, yeah, we're in a better spot in the world because cavemen like Donald Trump Jr. and cave women like Lauren Boebert. I don't think it's a fair thing to cast any type of aspersions on the person's gender because they've stolen anything. True, I think that Sam Brinton is a thief. But that's about as far as I will go with that. I don't think Sam Brinton's theft for stealing a high-end piece of luggage and stealing some poor old lady's clothes has anything to do with the gender affiliation. So Lauren Boebert and Donald Trump Jr. can fuck off. Sam Brinton can also fuck off for stealing that poor old lady's suitcase. There's a lot of fuck-offs going on in this story. So that's how I feel about that. Frankly, I think that if a person who has the courage to appear out in the real world like Sam Brinton, that person is of sound mind because they don't care what people think. I think that's great. I love that. Side note, 2 days ago, by the way, Rickety Rocket with a funny line. This person has a very punchable face without any, he writes, or she writes, don't know, unnatural alterations whatsoever. Josh writes, is this Mega Mind's daughter? Sir Bob of Oliver with a joke of, it's chemo patient Matt Damon. By the way, I think that that's funny. I think that if everybody else, if Pat Maroon can be made fun of for being a fat fuck, then I think Sam Brinton should be able to have a laugh at these two. You know what I mean? I was at Discount Tire the other day, putting the winter tires on Madison's car. And man, oh, by the way, my point about a person who is willing to be non-binary or transgender out in the world and not give a shit about what the person says, I think, in my opinion, that makes their brain, because a lot of people say that they're mentally ill. I don't think that at all. I think that that's the person that you want to lead companies because they don't give a shit what you think about them. They don't care that you may feel uncomfortable in how they appear to the world. That's who you want leading the company. A person who is that sound mentally. I don't care what any of you tell me. If anyone's changing their gender, they are not mentally ill. They are comfortable in their own skin. I love that. Frankly, I haven't felt this way all my life. There was a time when I was bigoted, but I don't feel that way at all now. I'm in Discount Tire. I walk in there, and I scan the room like I always do, and I know within half a second there is a person in there with long, beautiful dark hair, wearing a tight-fitting camisole, leggings, curvy to be sure, very curvy, showing lots of skin though, and a full-ass beard, flipping the hair, playing with the beard, and man, I was like, right away, I was like, you're the one. Congrats to you. Coming out there like that, fantastic. I think it's great. I'm a big supporter of that. All right. Some of you are like, I don't know, man. I don't know if my mind's ready to wrap my brain around that, man. All right. That's it. So Sam Brinton, I think, is going to be your asshole of the day. I really do. Lying, stealing that lady's bag. Oh, my God. Come on. But also Boebert and Trump Jr., but everybody knew that was coming from them. I mean, give me a break. All right. Thank you to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, 616-532-6600. Get your cars fixed there. They can fix any car. The only thing they won't touch is a Volkswagen. We're talking EVs. We're talking hybrids. The dealers take the cars to them when they get in the weeds, and that does happen. Or maybe you're Joe Mechanic trying to do it yourself, and then you wreck it. Oh, God. Oh, come on. All right, while your vehicle is getting repaired, you can get a loaner car if you like. 616-532-6600 for Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Irvines.com, and it's ERVines. ERVines.com. Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance, 616-914-4070. Buyinsurancehere.com is his website. So if you go to buyinsurancehere.com, fill out the form, read what it is, fill out the form. It's like your name, your contact info, and all that shit. And then he's going to send you a link to schedule. You schedule your meeting with Frank. And you can do it over the phone. You can do it in Zoom. You can do it in person. You can go to his office. You can go to the coffee shop. Doesn't matter. And you're like, Frank, Eric Zane sent me. And there's a spot on the website that says, how did you hear about me? And there's a spot. It says TV, Facebook, friend, Zane. Click Zane. Or tell him yourself when you see him. And this is especially important if you are getting your health insurance on the marketplace. Healthcare.gov. If you are in between jobs, Joe, if you are working for an employer who does not offer health insurance, or you are self-employed, this is how you get your insurance. You're qualified. 616-914-4070. Frank is also the expert in Social Security questions and Social Security checkup and Medicare. So if you or someone you know or love fits into any of these scenarios, consider Frank. The best part, Frank and his expertise are free. Doesn't cost you a dime. He makes his money from the insurance companies. Thank you, Frank. 616-914-4070. Jacob Bennett from Bennett Flooring Installation, self-employed. He just started working with Frank 2 days ago. Thank you, Jacob. That's sponsor on sponsor crime. Excuse me. Advertise on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Send me an email, Eric@ericzaneshow.com, and I will tell you how it works. Finally, Full House Comedy online at fullhousecomedy.com. If you want to go see a comedy show in West Michigan, there's several venues under the umbrella of Full House Comedy. Go to the website, fullhousecomedy.com, and buy tickets. We'll see you at a show. On the Patreon coming up, I need to talk about a state of Iowa two-time wrestling champ and something that he does that is absolutely terrible. He's accused of. The more manly the sport, the more horrible the activity when it comes to terrible things that they do to others. Hazing style is what I'm talking about. Like every time you turn around, you hear about some school where some kid's putting a pine cone in another kid's asshole. That's what we're talking about here. Wrestling and someone's asshole is involved in this story. Also, the guy who was in charge of, I think it was BTX, that Bitcoin deal, the one that Tom Brady last year's Super Bowl was like, oh, man, I love this. You got to sign up. And Larry David did that commercial. Sam Bankman-Fried is his name, who ran it. That company was worth $33 billion of your dollars. All of you fucking people said, oh, yeah, Bitcoin's the way to go. And you gave this guy all of your money for Bitcoin. It's now worthless. He's speaking now. And you won't believe it. This is turning out to be likely a scenario where Sam Bankman-Fried is imprisoned. All right. That's all coming up on the Patreon. The asshole of the day today from TC Paintball is Sam Brinton for stealing the poor old lady's bag. Has nothing to do with her gender. You can be transgender and an asshole or non-binary. I have a friend who's super liberal. And she, along with Diana, called upon GR Crime Tours, which is run by Aaron from Funny Girls. And Aaron and I do not see eye to eye. Aaron is transgender. And so Diana and her were going on the crime tour. And I go, whatever you do, do not mention my name. Enjoy your time. I'm sure it will be fun. But do not mention my name. Because they, them, or he, I'm not sure what Aaron is referred to these days, will make your life difficult. So they were quiet. Later on, I ran into Sherry, our pal, and she's like, what's the problem? What's the problem? How come you don't like Aaron? She's great, or he's great, or they are great. Again, not sure what Aaron refers to. And I said, why do you think Aaron's great? Oh, so funny. Awesome. I go, you realize that's a performance, don't you? That's acting. Of course, Aaron's going to be great. Aaron is an asshole. Aaron's transgender. I go, I don't give a fuck. Can you not be an asshole if you're a transgender person? Well, not likely. And I said, I beg to differ. A complete asshole. The biggest asshole on the planet. Fuck Aaron. I'm glad Aaron's a guy now because now I can punch him in the stomach. No, fuck Aaron. Aaron can suck my dick. All right. Thank you, folks, for being here. You know I love you. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to some of you on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Yeah, I'm glad Aaron's a dude because I can punch him in his... I can kick him in his dick. See you, folks.
What's that place you've always wanted to try? Well, you're there. Sharing plates with...
Just one bite.
Or on second thought, maybe not sharing. It's that good. When you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.
By giving, people will be helping Nationwide Children's Hospital find cures, brighten patients' holidays, and people will be able to support their neighbors when they need it most. When they donate, they will activate in real time a butterfly-inspired light show for patients this holiday season. They will add holiday cheer to the lives of kids who really need a reason to smile. No one wants to think about their child being sick, but should that day come, the donation they make this year could help the care their child could need in the future. Please give now at nationwidechildrens.org/give.